Most productivity advice is a trap. It teaches you how to climb faster without asking why the ladder is leaning on a burning building. I've talked about this on the channel before, but I spent years as a productivity zealot. I had systems for everything. Notion databases tracking my habits, Pomodoro timers for deep work. I was optimized, efficient, and absolutely miserable. The systems worked beautifully. I was technically getting more done than ever before. What I hadn't noticed was that getting more done had become a substitute for asking what was worth doing in the first place. The productivity industrial complex has convinced us that the solution to feeling overwhelmed is to become better at being overwhelmed. Buy this app, follow this method, stack these habits. But this is what nobody wants to admit. Maybe you're drowning because you're trying to do things that don't matter while ignoring the things that do. The existentialists had a word for this kind of life. They called it bad faith. We have a different word for it now. We call it hustle. So here's a different kind of list. This is 10 things you need to stop doing if you want a life that feels like yours instead of a performance for an audience that doesn't exist and doesn't give a damn. Number 1, stop optimizing yourself like you're a piece of software awaiting the next patch. Every productivity guru wants you to believe you're one system away from unlocking your true potential. But human beings aren't meant to run at maximum efficiency. We're supposed to waste time. We're supposed to be bored. We're supposed to stare at walls and let our minds wander into strange territories. The mental white space you're trying to eliminate with your perfectly color-coded calendar is where most interesting thoughts happen. When you optimize that away, you're not becoming more productive. You're becoming more predictable, which is a polite way of saying you're becoming boring, and less human to boot. Number 2, stop treating your life like a startup that needs to pivot toward profitability. I see this everywhere. People talk about investing in themselves and building their personal brand and creating multiple revenue streams, as if the goal of human existence is to maximize your valuation before the heat death of the universe. You know what happens when you treat your life like a business? You start making decisions based on what will look good in a pitch deck instead of what will make you happy. Number 3, stop measuring your worth by your output. The equation seems so obvious. More work equals more value, right? But this is a trick. You've internalized the employer's logic. You've confused your economic utility with your inherent worth as a person. The things that actually make you valuable to other human beings have almost nothing to do with how many tasks you checked off today. Nobody's going to remember you for your inbox discipline. Number 4, stop consuming productivity content. And yes, I do see the irony. But here's the thing about the content cycle. It's designed to make you feel simultaneously inadequate and hopeful. Inadequate because you're not doing enough. Hopeful because this new method will finally fix you. But what if you're not broken? What if you don't need fixing? What if you just need to stop outsourcing your thinking to people who profit from your anxiety about not doing enough? Number 5, stop trying to be consistent. The cult of consistency tells you that missing one day means failure. That you need to write every morning or meditate every evening or work out every dawn. That you need to pick one productivity tool and system and stick with it like a monk, like you're dedicated to the cause. But consistency is often just another word for rigidity. Life happens. Some days you're inspired, some days you're empty. Some days you need to lie on the floor and question your choices. Some days you need to throw out your entire system and buy a whole new app. Fighting against your natural rhythms and your inspirations in service of some arbitrary streak is exhausting, and exhaustion is what you're trying to escape in the first place. Number 6, stop networking. We all know this type of person. Every conversation is evaluated for potential return. Every connection is a node in some grand strategy. But people can sense when you're treating them like resources instead of humans. The relationships that actually matter in life come from genuine connection, not from coffee meetings where you're calculating value propositions while pretending to care about the person sitting across from you. Number 7, and this is related, stop treating every relationship like an investment portfolio. The same logic that ruins networking ruins everything else. You're wondering if this friendship serves your growth. You're evaluating whether this partner helps you become your best self. You're treating love like a performance review. Here's a radical idea. Some relationships exist because they make you feel less alone in the universe. That's enough. That's everything, actually. Number 8, stop following your passion, at least in the way we've come to understand that ideal, which is to find what you love and figure out how to monetize it, turn your hobby into a side hustle. Make your joy productive. When you do this, the thing you loved becomes another obligation. The watercolors you painted for pleasure or peace become content for Instagram. The guitar you played to relax becomes a YouTube channel you need to grow. You end up with no passions left, only projects in various stages of monetization or decay. Number 9, and I touched on this above, stop building a personal brand. You're not a product, you're a person. The voice you've cultivated for social media is starting to creep into your actual thoughts. You're curating your life for an imagined audience instead of living it. You're having experiences so you can post about them rather than because they matter. The personal brand you're building is crowding out the actual person you are, and at some point you'll look in the mirror and realize you can't remember which one is real. Number 10, stop deferring your life until you've made it. Made what? Made it where? The goalposts keep moving. First it was getting the degree, and then the job, and then the promotion, and then the salary, and then the exit. You're living in an eternal state of preparation for some future moment when you'll finally be allowed to relax and enjoy yourself. But that moment never comes. There's always another milestone, another target, another version of success you haven't achieved yet. The life you're preparing for is the one you're living right now, and you're missing it while you're busy getting ready for it. What's left when you stop doing all of this? That's what scares people. We fill our lives with optimization and achievement and productivity because the alternative seems like emptiness. But that emptiness is actually space. Space to think and space to feel and space to figure out what you actually want instead of what you've been told to want. Space to be a person instead of a project. The productivity trap works because it's always offering you more efficiency, more output, more success. But more of the wrong things just means you're running faster and faster toward the wrong destination. Sometimes the most productive thing you can do is stop. Stop optimizing, stop hustling, stop treating your existence like a problem that needs solving. You're not a damn problem. You're a human being. And human beings are allowed to be inefficient and inconsistent and sometimes wildly unproductive. I wouldn't call that failure. I'd call it living.